three ways of looking at this. Is not rocket science. Okay? And it isn't even brain surgery. It's just three metaphors. Ways of thinking about this stuff and talking about it a little bit. Doesn't capture it all. You know, they overlap a little bit. It's just three different ways to look at it. Okay? First, we have technological myopia. This notion that, generally speaking, and often in these periods of technological change, there are some effects, first-order effects especially, that are pretty easy to see. You get real focused on them, and you ignore the second-order effects. Okay? So I'll give you an example in old media, and then I'll give you one in new media. In old media, when I was a boy, oh my God, he's going to go back that far. When I was a boy, quite literally, my parents said, "Look, it's a convention. They're right there on the floor. Come here, come here, come here, come here, look. Come here, look, look. It's Eisenhower. Look, watch." I mean, the idea that you could bring a national presidential nominating convention into the living room and watch it and talk to people who were there was just, it was almost beyond, and you just, come on, look. And then you could talk about, you know, most of the big events that happened in the early days of television. Had they known that television would be one of the primary features in the disruption of the nuclear family in America, they'd have taken the thing and thrown it out in the trash. And so would most of everybody else in their generation. If you'd actually presented them the card that said, people won't eat meals together anymore, divorce rate will go to 50%, kids will not be able to concentrate on their schoolwork, all this stuff. Now, not that you can blame television for all of it, but television plays a factor in all of it. Right? My parents, quite literally, would have taken it out, set it on the trash, said, "We'll do with radio." Didn't see the second-order effects coming. Had no way to see them. Just can't predict it out. You know. What has television done to American politics? My God. You know, now it's a glamour show. In more ways, and if not a glamour show, at least an advertising campaign ritual. How much money can you raise? If my parents had seen that the television was going to do that to politics, they'd have put the thing out in the trash. Okay? When's the last time you sat down at your desk and wrote a handwritten, multi-page letter home? Put your hand up if you did it today. Put your hand up if you did it yesterday. Put your hand up if you did it in the last week. Put your hand up if you did it in the last month. Put your hand up if you've ever done it. Now, I will tell you the honest-to-goodness truth. You can argue with me all you want, and you'll be wrong because I know what's in my heart. Okay? I have a sophomore at the University of Indianapolis, so she's your age. And if I sit down and open a letter that she wrote, I am just beside myself. But I get email from her every day. And it's fine. I don't mind the email. It's nice. And I write to her. And we do teleconferences. You know, we do video chat. But a letter. My God. Because you know what time and commitment and effort it takes to actually sit down and write a note. Get a stamp, put it in an envelope, take it to the post office, the whole nine. Now, I'll do a little reality check. Because I happen to know the answer. You still check your mailboxes. And guess what? When there's a big long letter in there from somebody you love, you really like it. Because I visited there and I see droves of students going back and forth from their mailboxes every day. Going, I've seen it. It's just recently. Okay? No mystery. Okay? First order effect, email. Right now, boom, bang, find out. That's great. I stay in contact with everybody. Oh, or I don't care. It's text messaging on your phones, whatever. Doesn't have to be email. It could be whatever form you like the most. Okay. What's the second order effect? We are changing the nature of relationships with the people in our lives. And when we're using that short-term look, we're not really thinking about the long-term. We just we have myopia. And we don't really have corrective lenses yet. We just miss it. Okay?
Are second order effects always negative?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sometimes they're very positive. Sometimes they're very positive. We have an emergency system at Bradley now based on the fact that you guys all have cell phones in your pockets that'll ring if there's an emergency and we can get you text messages. Probably great stuff. Might save lives someday. Hope not. But I mean, I hope it doesn't have to. But you know, that's second order effect. No, sometimes they're positive. But they're unforeseen. And you can't always see them. You know, you can think about them if you're really, but what if you start making predictions about them? You know, how accurate would you be? You'd miss most of them. Okay? So that's one way of looking at it. Yeah.
Would it be fair to say then that second order effects are like consequences of new technology?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. But they're the
unforeseen.
No, not so much unforeseen as they're the second wave down the road and further. They're not the direct first effect. They're not the thing that pops up quickly. Okay. Yeah.
So, like in relation to the whole mail thing that you're talking about, downside of the internet, like the first order would be email's great. Second order would be, well, you're not getting letters in the mail anymore.
Well, it's not so much that I'm not getting the letters; it's that the nature of my relationship with people has changed.
Okay.
You know, now I really, I give you, I mean, you expect to get through. God bless you. But, between email and Facebook and your cell phone, you really kind of expect to hear from them pretty quick. And then if you don't, you're kind of bummed out. And then if you don't, you're kind of impatient. And then if you don't, you're kind of pissed off. Right? If I hadn't heard from whoever it was when I was at college till the end of the week, I wouldn't have given it a thought. It changes the nature of the relationship. But we don't even think that part through. So yes, not getting a letter is certainly part of it, but expecting faster. Expecting,